Welcome back, seekers. Today's story follows a woman's frustration over her coworker stealing her food leads to a drastic action, but now she fears she may have gone too far. I'm not the type of person who likes to cause drama. I try to stay in my lane, mind my own business, and just get through the workday like everyone else. But everyone has a breaking point. And when someone keeps disrespecting you, taking from you, and pretending like you don't matter, it does something to you. I learned that the hard way. I'm 30, female, and I've been working at my current office for 3 years. It's a pretty standard 9 to 5 job. Nothing exciting, but it pays the bills. Since I'm busy all week, I do meal prepping every weekend. It saves time and money. I plan all my meals in advance, cook them in batches, and store them in containers, so all I have to do is grab one in the morning and go. The office has a communal fridge, which has never been an issue. I've always stored my food there without any problems. Everyone respects each other's stuff, or at least they used to. 6 months ago, a new guy transferred to our department. He's 25, male, and from what I heard, he had some kind of incident at his old office. Apparently, he couldn't get along with his coworkers, which is why they relocated him to our branch. That should have been a red flag, but I didn't pay much attention to it at the time. I should have, because shortly after he arrived, my food started disappearing. At first, I brushed it off. Maybe I forgot I ate something. Maybe I miscounted. But then it kept happening. My drinks would be half empty. My snacks would be gone. Sometimes my entire lunch would be tampered with. Small amounts missing, just enough to be noticeable, but not obvious. It made my blood boil. I brought it up in the office group chat, asking if anyone had accidentally taken my food. Of course, nobody admitted anything. Just a bunch of IDK and not me replies. A few people even laughed, saying, "Maybe we have a ghost in the office." Yeah, a ghost that only steals my food. I knew someone was messing with me, but without proof, what could I do? I wasn't about to start sniffing people's breath for traces of my lunch. Then one day, I got my first clue. That morning, I had packed a homemade pasta dish, a rich, hearty tomato-based recipe I spent hours perfecting. It was my comfort meal, something I was really looking forward to eating. But when lunchtime rolled around, I opened the fridge and saw that half of it was already gone. I was furious, and then I saw him. The new guy walked out of the pantry, wiping his mouth, and there, clear as day, was a bright red stain on his shirt. Tomato sauce. My tomato sauce. My brain practically short-circuited. I saw red, and it wasn't just the sauce. My heart was pounding. My hands clenched into fists. I had never been so angry over something so small. But it wasn't just about the food anymore. It was about the principle. I stormed up to him. "Hey, did you take my food?" He blinked at me. "What?" I pointed at his shirt. "That's tomato sauce. I made a tomato-based pasta dish today, and half of it is missing." And you know what he did? He looked me dead in the eye and said, "I don't know what you're talking about." I wanted to scream. He didn't even try to come up with a good excuse. He just flat out denied it, like I was some kind of idiot. like I didn't just see him walk out of the pantry with my food in his stomach. I knew right then and there that he wasn't just a thief, he was a liar. And the worst part, he got sneakier after that. From that day on, the food theft continued, but now he was careful. He never took an entire meal again. Instead, he would take little portions, just enough to be frustrating, but not enough to be proof. He would open my drinks and take sips. He would eat just a few bites of my meals. He would even take snacks out of my lunchbox and then rearrange everything so it looked untouched, like I wouldn't notice, like I wasn't watching. I felt helpless. I couldn't confront him without solid proof, and even if I did, he would just deny it again. I had to be smarter. So I came up with a plan. I decided that if he wanted to steal my food, I would give him something special. The next weekend, when I did my usual meal prepping, I made my meals just as delicious as always. But this time, I added a little extra ingredient, a strong dose of laxatives. And I didn't just add a little, I was furious. I dumped in a generous amount, mixed it all up, and packed it as usual. Then I waited. That Monday, I placed my food in the fridge like normal. I didn't touch it at lunch. I just sat back and watched. And sure enough, he took the bait. About an hour before the office closed, I saw him shift in his seat. He looked uncomfortable. He was sweating, squirming, clutching his stomach, and then, suddenly, he bolted. His desk was near the front of the office, and the bathroom was all the way in the back. I watched as he sprinted across the office, panic on his face, pure desperation in his eyes. And the moment he passed me, I smelled it. It was bad. I had to bite my lip to keep from laughing. I know it was petty, but after all the frustration, all the stolen meals, seeing him suffer for once felt satisfying. He looked at me for a brief second before disappearing into the bathroom, and he stayed there for the rest of the workday. People started whispering, wondering what was going on. A few even knocked on the door to check if he was okay, but he didn't respond. When the day ended, we all packed up and left, but he was still in there. The next day, he didn't come to work. The day after that, still no sign of him. By the third day, our boss finally told us that he had been hospitalized. Apparently, he had some kind of severe stomach issue. My food was no longer touched, but now I was terrified. What if he figured out what I did? What if he told someone? Could I get in trouble for this? I had only wanted to teach him a lesson, not send him to the hospital. Now, I don't know what to do. Am I the beehole for what I did? Should I be worried about legal trouble? Or did he get what he deserved? Well, seekers, what do you think? What would you do in such a situation? Please subscribe and leave us a like and a comment if you loved our story today.